Hi, today we're going to discuss a new chapter, which is chapter 8 on control topic. Like we all have already discussed previously, control is the last function of management. We have started with planning, and then we discussed on organizing, which is followed by leading, and now we are going to discuss the last part of management, which is on controlling. So these are the elements that we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. We are going to discuss on the definition. We are going to look into the controlling process. We are going to discuss on the types of control, potential barriers to successful controls, and making controlling successful. Control is making something happen the way it was planned to happen. Controlling is the process making managers go through to control. According to Roberto Mockler, controlling is a systematic effort by business management to compare performance to predetermined standards, plans, or objectives to determine whether performance is in line with these standards and presumably to take any remedial action required to see that human and other corporate resources are being used in the most effective and efficient way possible in achieving corporate objectives. It is also defined as the systematic process through which managers regulate organizational activities to make them consistent with the expectations established in plans and to help them achieve all predetermined standard of performance. In other words, in a simpler words, what it means by organizational control is that you as a manager try to make sure that everything being done in the organization is in accordance with what has been outlined and expected, so that everybody is going to do and to deliver the job as expected in order for you to achieve your organizational performance. Now we are going to discuss on the process of control. There are several steps that are involved in the process of control. If we look at the diagram, it would help us to understand this better. The first one is setting the standard of performance. Whenever possible, the standard should be set in a manner that allows them to be compared to actual performance. And then you go into the measuring actual performance. An organization here, they need to decide what to measure, when to measure, and how frequently to measure. And then the third process involved in terms of comparing the actual performance with the standard. This step involves determining if actual performance compared to standard falls within acceptable limits. What happens if it falls under the unacceptable limit? So you are going to take corrective actions. If it falls under acceptable limit, then you take no corrective action. For example, you set a standard of performance that your production facility is going to produce 1,000 units per day. And then at the end of the day, you measure the actual performance. You set the performance 1,000, and then you compare the actual performance with the standard. The actual performance that day, they only produced 980 units. So you are lack of 20 units. So if that 20 units lacking is considered as an acceptable deviation, then you take no corrective action. But if you feel that deviation is unacceptable, that 20 is unacceptable, then you take corrective actions. Maybe you are going to change the machineries. Maybe you are going to add new employees. You are going to take additional employees in order for you to speed up the production process. So those are the things that you are going to do.